Hello and welcome to the Underpowered podcast, a gaming podcast where we battle our backlog, revealing what is worth your time, money, and energy. I'm Shelby Stokes, where today we have Casey Cool.
Hello.
And our official third member, Sean Poole.
Hi.
And longtime friend and creator of Meow Meow Heroes of Pure Heart, Parker Simmons is back!
Hey, everybody, I'm here.
That's you. Raise the roof. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I just, every once in a while, I see you guys on Twitter, and I'm like, have me on. I want to talk.
And I'm like,
You're
okay.
the only people who will listen to what I have to say about video games and not walk away.
Yeah, I like to hear it.
It's a perfect time, right?
It's only because Casey chained me. Casey chained me to a chair.
That's true. I said you owe me a favor. My wife cooked you a nice vegan meal this weekend. I'll see you Tuesday.
Oh, I see. So you bribed him with dinner. I see how you did that.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
I'm going to be watching for the telltale squirming halfway through my rant. See him trying to just escape.
He slowly
Gnaw
just
his own
melts out of
arm
the
off.
chair.
I don't know. I'm kind of upset that I didn't get dinner out of the deal. I think you owe Parker and I a meal or two, Casey.
I definitely owe you a bunch, Shelby, for
Yes.
putting up with me for 84 episodes.
I'm just here to say I will always gladly accept a chicken sandwich of any variety. Your KFC, your Popeyes, I don't care.
So
where it comes
specific.
from.
No,
Yeah, I'm
so
just
what's,
saying,
what's the
chicken
top tier?
sandwiches.
What's the
For me,
top tier?
for me, I go Popeyes or KFC, and
Okay.
they're two very different
Wow,
styles.
not Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is mall food, dude. Trash.
Nice.
Garbage. Don't want it. I never understood the obsession with it. I remember when I came out here, people were like, Chick-fil-A, we finally got one out here. I'm like, I had them when we were growing up. They're in the mall next to a Sparrows. You don't need either of that.
Does
garbage.
the sauce do anything for you? Because the Chick-fil-A sauce is like legend, right?
Nah, does nothing for me. I mean, people say the same thing about In-N-Out, and I'm like, also same. Toss it in the
True.
trash.
I feel the
Thousand
same way
dollar
about
dressing,
In-N-Out.
flat burger, all that lettuce. Get it out of
Show
here.
over.
When
Done.
I
I
lived
want
in
that,
LA,
but totally done.
I
I
want Five
didn't
Guys.
care.
I want fat burger. I want a big slab of beef with all the nastiest American cheese you could pile high. Plus Five Guys got that
Craft
good bacon.
only. What were you saying, Sean?
I was saying, yeah, when I lived in LA, everyone was all about In-N-Out and stuff, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. It's like, okay.
It's because
Here's
I
the
think
hype.
it really came down to like quality and speed and price. And it was
That's
like you get
it.
something pretty good. It's competing with McDonald's and doing better. But if you jump up to the next price
Mhm.
tier, you're automatically getting something leagues better anyway. So I'm like,
Right.
cool. I'll just do that. I'll just
Right.
jump up.
And the convenience is nice. I like the not so secret menu. I don't know, but the price point is great.
There's
for what you
lore.
get.
That's right. There's lore.
There's
Secrets.
lore, and lore goes far with me.
And I
like
think
Pokemon
people,
lore.
There's world building in In-N-Out.
There is.
I always thought the animal fries sounded way better than they were. I would get the animal
Yeah.
fries, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that didn't really turn out. That was not as good as it
and their
sounded.
fries are only good for about 5 minutes, and then they start to get soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well, to be
In-N-Out-
extra
the
well
In-N-Out
done.
fries.
Okay,
To
does
be
anybody?
fair, I get them fried light. I get them limp. I like them limp and nasty, son.
Oh, you like
Can
a
you
greasy
order
fry?
them fried light?
fried?
How
You
does
say
that
fried.
work?
That's the secret to get the good In-N-Out fries. You say fried light, and they get. You know, you get that one nasty, like, stringy, noodly fry that's drenched in all the oils.
Mhm.
That's the one you go for. For
Okay.
me, I know most people like a nice crisp, satisfying bite
do.
back. No, I want them drenched. I want them nasty, fried light. That's how I get it.
How do you
I like
get
to dip
those,
them in a
though? I mean, they're
shake.
limp,
You
right?
say-
They're just
you
like
just-
flopping around.
That's how I like it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I like them limp.
Like-
Clip it. But Sean, what do you,
Okay,
how do you like
so
your
when
fries?
you order at In-N-Out or any of these places, do you start with the fries or do you start with the burger?
burger.
That's me too, right?
Yeah,
so I
that's the
can't
thing.
take the 5 minutes.
Not
to
the
do
meal
fries.
number?
I just got to go with it.
I'm not a number meal guy.
Not
I
the
never
combo
have
guy?
was. No, I rarely will I get a soda because if I'm getting the burger, here's the trinity: it's the burger, the fry, and the shake.
The Holy
Now, a
Ghost.
true great burger joint has to have the triforce of goodness of foods there.
That's
But
true.
the machine has to work for
The
the
burger
shake.
is strength,
Yeah.
the fries are wisdom, and the milkshake is courage.
Courage,
right?
yeah.
It's Zelda. It's like it's wisdom right there. Yeah.
Is it courage for your bowels? Is that why it's courage?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And
You have
you
to
can-
crave.
It's
You're
hard.
going to need all three to get through that past a certain age. It will be hard. It will. Yeah, it's going straight to your heart.
I'm just imagining somebody with a tattoo on the back of their wrist. Like the three trinities.
With just a burger, a shake, and what was the other one? Fries?
The fries, yes. It's the
I
Triforce.
still
of
say
fast food.
that you're just describing Five Guys for me. They never missed it.
Yeah. Their
They
shakes
never
aren't bad.
miss.
Once they got shakes,
They're
they're
all
like
right.
awesome.
Dude,
But their
any
fries
place
and
that-
burgers just they
Mhm.
just go together.
Any place that offers peanuts when you walk in, I'm always like, I don't know about you.
And there's just shells all over the floor. And I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. I'm like, okay.
I'm a Southern boy, so when you got peanuts on my way in, I go, there we go.
Yeah, this is my home.
Yeah, this is
I'm
the good.
home,
This is the
baby.
good trash. Pile it in. Nom, 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 nom. But anyway, we circle back. Popeyes, KFC. You go to them for a little bit of different thing. You get that delicious breading of fat, delicious, amazing, juicy, tender breast there, but it can be a little bit much. KFC, they just go right down the line. They give you that classic extra crispy, a nice bun, some pickles. Depends on what you want. You want to go a little extra with the calorie count, you go for the Popeyes. You just want a decent chicken sandwich and a minute flat, KFC will hook you up.
KFC.
It's not going to
And
blow
then
your
extra-
mind, but they'll hook you up.
Extra pickles for me too. On that.
Oh, I eat
cheese.
my own pickles at home, man. I'm like, no, not enough. I crack open the jar.
Whoa.
I always got to have the thick boys too. I'm not about that gurk. I want my fries limp. I want my pickles thick.
3 C's.
Did you
All
ever
these
have?
things are important. That's
From
my
Ga-
Triforce. Limp fries.
Do they still? KFC doesn't have the like chicken, like the chicken surrounding chicken sandwich anymore.
No,
Wait,
the
double
double
chicken.
What
down.
was it
The
called?
double, yeah.
Double
That's
down. I
it.
never
Double
tried
down
it.
on that heart attack. Yeah.
I never
I
tried it,
did.
and I think it was for the best. Because I had some friends when it came out who were like, we're going to KFC. And I'm like, nah, man, I still respect myself a little bit. Just a
Dude,
little.
I bet any employee would give you the double down. If you were just like, hey, could you hook it up? They'd be like, yeah, for
Could
you,
just
I'll
remake
do
that.
it.
Yeah. All right.
You
When I
come
was-
in sad, just desperate, sweaty, scratching yourself. Please, let me get it. They'll be like, all right, man, this is the last one. You gotta go.
When they first came out, I think I was working at G4. So it must have been like 2009 or 10 or something. I think I was a PA at the time. But anyways, we ended up having to order. We ordered like 2 or 3 dozen of them to test out and try out on the show. We just have extras for whatever else. Anyways, I think I ended up eating 2 in one sitting, and I think my heart like grew 3 sizes too big that day, but not for like good
A good
reasons.
You fell in love with the sandwich. That's great to hear.
My heart grew 3 sizes that day. I feel like there's a play on the Grinch and a heart attack somewhere in this. I love it.
Is it all an allegory for if you're a curmudgeon, you just have a heart attack on Christmas? Is that
I
really
think you
the
just
story?
solved the Grinch. Yep,
I
that's
get
that's
it.
how the second chapter ends of the Grinch. You've only
And that's
just read
how
the
a new
first.
Krampus is born.
Well, thank you for coming to Food Talk. That is our new podcast where we just rank fast food items.
Food
Great
talk.
idea.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, the reason we're all here today is because a little RPG came out that took over the world, right?
It took over the world 25 years ago, and it's back in full force.
Okay, so we're talking about Pokemon, right?
Pokemon. Now we had a deep discussion. Parker, take the floor. Pokemon Arceus.
So it is Arceus.
Arceus.
I've looked this up years ago. I mean, I thought it was Arceus. Maybe it's Arceus, Deus, Arc. It's actually Arceus. And I guess the thinking, because in Japan, its name is, I think it's Arceus, and that would be Arceus here.
Oh.
But apparently the localization team said, no, it sounds too much like the word arse. It sounds like ass. And they didn't
Arse.
like that. So it is officially, you could see it, and the way you know this is you would just check the media the name has appeared in, any game, any like shorts, movies, etc. It is Arceus. Arceus. So Arc, I guess Eus, more like still Deus, a god, but Arceus. Unfortunately, I think Arceus sounds better.
Yeah, I like it
Even
too.
Arceus. Arceus just sounds like kind of an afterthought, but it is Arceus. That's the name. I'm here to say.
Arceus. It's official. Yeah, I've kind of just been being like, yeah, the Pokemon, the new one, right? That's kind of how I've been referring to it as.
It's weird because when you search for, it has so many like weird side quests and esoteric knowledge about what you want to evolve that you're gonna go searching for stuff, and you're like, what do I put in the whole title, or do I put in the name of just Arceus, Pokemon Arceus? And I'm like, well, then it'll just show me that Pokemon because that is a Pokemon in the game.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But you know what? The only time in my life I will give credit to Google. Just type it in Pokemon Arceus and anything else. That'll do it. You can skip Legends. You don't have to put it in.
Right.
Oh,
You do
right.
not have to put that in. That's nice.
Sometimes even just put in Arceus, something side quest. It'll hook
And
you up.
So it's called Legends because this is supposed to be like a world or one of the lands of Pokemon where Pokemon are new to it, or capturing them is new or something.
It's a prequel. It's a prequel.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
to the timeline. Capturing has just begun. They have the capturing, like the technology has just begun. It's more like a feudal Japan type of world where the land is really barren, and we'll get into that for other reasons later. But it's you get dropped in the middle of time through a giant, like there's a fracture in the sky, and you can see it throughout the whole game, and they
Like Ninja Turtles 3.
Yes, but you see the fracture the whole time. Great film. We can talk about that different. But I have a lot of weird feelings about this because I was kind of like hesitant because I was like, what if this was really bad? Because everyone was really dunking on the graphics. And I'll be honest, the graphics are okay. Like, it's not the deal breaker for me. It's not what it could be. It could be better. But I really think this is a beta for what they want to do with the game. I think we're going to see a shift in mainline Pokemons too.
Full priced beta?
Beta? I mean, how would Pokemon even come up with a beta right now?
Not, let me rephrase.
Pokemon, come on.
It's a beta
It's like
for
a
a future
test,
game.
like
It's a
like a
test.
technical test.
He's speaking metaphorically.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want one correction. I wouldn't say it's feudal Japan. It's more like 1800s.
Okay. So it's
it
right
seems
after
like
that.
It seems like that at first, but then as you explore the town, you're like, oh, they've got this technology, that technology.
It's more like
and they're aware of the other
Tom
regions.
Cruise Last Samurai era.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that world is fading away, and they're
Yeah.
entering a modern era and industrializing amid a world of Pokemon. Actually, I have a wild theory, and there's a lot of theories about Pokemon, but I believe that the humans and Pokemon are going through a sort of way. You guys familiar with The Witcher? Are you familiar with the
These two
conjunction? It's a conjunction of spheres, dude. Humans are not from Pokemon world. The Pokemon are all naturally at home in their environment, even though they're incredibly weird and they don't make any sense. Why are there weird human-shaped Pokemon, but they're totally at ease in the wild? The humans are the ones who are constantly battling the elements, coming up against these, naturalized creatures, and not winning most of the time, especially in this world. And
just like real life.
You add with that the element. That a lot of these Pokemon are called like the squirrel Pokemon, the rabbit. I'm like, excuse me, the what? The squirrel. What is a squirrel? Do you mean a Pachirisu? No, we mean the squirrel Pokemon. They know what a squirrel is. They know what a cow is.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Not from here. They're not from here. They're us. We had a conjunction of spheres type moment where our worlds kind of merged, but more likely humans got dumped into Pokemon world where they do not belong. And what did we do? The same thing we always do. Ravage and subjugate all life forms immediately. Hold them hostage. Team Plasma was right. They were right. For all you Pokemon black and white fans out there.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was to say, because my question would be like, so what have they done? They've just lived alongside Pokemon forever before they started to actually like capture them and use them?
Definitely not.
Which doesn't make sense.
This game makes it clear. This game goes out of its way in the way that like, mainline Pokemon games, the Pokédex has always had a lot of fun, spooky, creepy lore in it. There's always an article once a month on Kotaku. Did you know that Slowpoke is actually a serial killer? And it's like, no, it's just a Pokédex entry. Shut up. But this game takes that background noise, mixes it up, pushes it to the forefront where you have characters, not a Pokédex entry, outright telling you, I ran for my life from a Snorlax that ravaged my entire village.
Yeah.
A Machop killed my child or something along those lines. You're like, whoa! As you're playing the game, you're like, what are you talking about? The game is telling you, like, these are dangerous, powerful, magic creatures who will kill you.
They
and
attack
there's alphas,
you.
right?
No,
alphas
they attack
are a
you.
thing
Yeah.
now.
The alphas, like, if they see you, I ran into an alpha Heracross. And
Wait. So are alphas the red-eyed Pokemon?
Yes. And they're bigger.
Yeah.
And I looked, I'm like, oh, cool, Heracross. I love Heracross. It's the Hercules beetle, but it's Heracross, as you said earlier. Anyway, I walk up to it, and it just sends me flying. right? And then the screen goes red. I'm like, I gotta run. I need to run for my life. This is not what I wanted Pokemon to be.
They don't play.
They don't play around. But
Well,
with
that's
your
kind of where
theory,
it's at, though, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
I remember older Pokemon games are kind of, I don't want to say they're easy unless you're, like, competing online, but there wasn't a lot of fear in the older Pokemon games. Is that fair?
right? I think the older Pokemon games are. It's this old JRPG. Like, here's the plot map. Here's how we do things. Here are the beats.
Mhm.
And this is not that. This is a new thing. And I think they're going to find a way to meld the two worlds next with this playstyle, because this playstyle is really fun. And now that players have seen, like, I can be next to my Pokemon, I can walk around it. Oh, great. I want that. I need that in my regular Pokemon game.
We could do that
There's-
in Pokemon Yellow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. I'm telling you,
Heart cold.
there's no going back. And
No.
you guys are being very reserved, but I'm going to tell you right now, I completed this game within the week. It took 70 hours to complete it. My dex is fully you can get perfect research, which would take maybe 1,000 hours.
Thousands.
But I do have the full research where every Pokemon has the little Pokeball by its name. I did the fun post game content. It is complete. I've got the little text where they're like, "You did it. The game's basically over. You can do this if you want." So I'm coming at this from I have decimated this game.
Yes,
I
you
have
have.
destroyed entire populations. I'm here to
How
tell
many
you. Not
shinies?
only I got something like 11.
Nice.
Yeah, you were
Compared
shiny
to-
hunting today, weren't you?
And let
You
me-
posted
let me-
some stuff. You were shiny hunting.
I probably
That's the real
was.
question for
I'm
the
into
long
it.
term. How
Here's
many
the thing.
shinies?
Way easier shinies, but even just to give you an idea, I didn't know shinies existed until I played Black and White.
Oh,
People
I
were
thought
like,
you meant
"Look
until this game. I was gonna say
No,
what?
not that one. People were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look at my shiny, whatever." I'm like, "You're shiny. What do you mean? That's
True.
a completely different color." And they're like, "Oh, did the Pokemon have alternate palettes?" And I'm like, "No, what? What are you talking about? Is that new?" And they're like, "No, it's been since Gold and Silver." And I'm like, "What are you talking?" It was like this weird matrix moment where I'm like, "That's not true." And I looked it up, and the encounter rate, all of which is to say, the encounter rate is so rare in your
Yeah.
standard Pokemon game, and it's
Mhm.
been getting better and better and better and better. The fact is here, the quality of life, pacing, speed, immersive, all these changes that have been made to Pokemon have coalesced so that while the encounter rate for shinies has not been changed, the changes surrounding that encounter rate have made it easier, because you have to take into account the fact that it's rolling those odds every time you see one Pokemon when you encounter it. But in this game, all Pokemon are rolled as soon as you enter the world at once.
Interesting.
So you have far greater odds of seeing a shiny. And then you have the mass outbreaks, which have a bunch of one Pokemon show up at once, which if you're hunting Starlies, great. Run in and fling Pokeball. It's an amazing bonanza, because you're just comparing this real time in your mind to every single battle you've had in an older Pokemon game that takes you hours to do anything. In 2 minutes, you're like, boom, 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 great ball. Bah! Bust you in the back of the head. What's that? You want to attack me? Eat mud ball. Boom, you're stunned. Pah, great ball. You're mine. And all of a sudden, you've got 20 of these things. A shiny pops up. You've got it. It's just this wonderful, warm, beautiful. Oh my God, I'm playing the cartoon. Pokemon is real. It's fast. It's not boring. It isn't a chore anymore. Ah! It's just this amazing, invigorating experience. This is the best Pokemon game ever made. I say that as somebody who has played all of them. There is no competition. This game, as soon as the first hour of talking is done and they set you loose into the world to do your thing, it just keeps, it's like a weird buffet where they just keep feeding you. They're like, try this little amuse-bouche. Huh? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Try a chicken wing. Oh, it's pretty good. Try this lasagna. Oh my God. It's that Vince McMahon gif where you're just like,
Right. The slowly better. I look at it this way. I think about Pokemon a lot in the terms of like competitive battling, because that was my favorite thing, and I like battling.
I want to
go
be
on battle
clear.
servers.
I hate that. It's gone here. That's why this is my favorite. The meta is gone. IVs are gone. EVs, you can use it, can prove them with items. Screw the meta game. It's for
They started
people who
fixing
have
that.
too much time.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that scene? Like, what's going on with the multiplayer co-op scene?
Well, you can trade, and that's about it right now. I think eventually they'd add up battling to someone. There's not much to that. But like he said, I don't care about the battling. I want to be in the world.
Yeah.
I want the worlds to look better.
Fundamentally different.
Yeah, it's just they need to, like, this is the first, like, hey, okay, look at this. This is our freshman album when we're going Pokemon Legends. Wait till our sophomore album, which is always the band's better album, and it blows you away. I almost want to give this game 5 hearts out of 5. I'm at like 4.5 or 5. I really got to see.
So what's not doing it for you? What's the half? Is it because you can't do competitive stuff? I think you do have
to address the graphical issue. Like,
yeah, so let's talk about that, because the Discord of ours has been blowing up, and people are like, the graphics, like, come on, guys, you could do a little better. And with a franchise like Pokemon, you would think this would be the shiniest, prettiest thing out there.
They have the money.
They don't have the people, though. They don't have the people. So,
but they could.
They could with the money. The money gets the people.
It's an insular culture. You know what I mean? Not just with, and they're not Nintendo. That's Game Freak, but they're Nintendo adjacent, and they're very like, no, you're not allowed in our building. You're not allowed on our team. You can't be a part of this. But I'm hoping. How many people
do you think are in that studio or on that team?
Less than 100.
It's like 150, but if they're working on different projects, I'd say only like 50 to 70 people working on this game. Which is insane. Because you get
that's why it looks like an indie game.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks worse than an indie game, to be honest.
Hey, now
I would say it fades away so quickly once you are able to appreciate the. It's weird because you typically associate immersion with fidelity.
Right.
I think most people would say that's the case. If the world looks and sounds and reacts the way it should, I am now in it. That's not really what this is for me. What immersed me is feeling as if the narrative and the conventions of the cartoon were finally able to, and I know that's a weird way to put it because it's always a game first, but I'm like, no, I throw a Pokeball at a thing, it goes in or it doesn't go in. These things are reacting the way that they should, and that immersive quality puts these, I don't know how to put it, dude. They put blinders on you, and you just don't care.
The throw mechanic
I have not,
and should look better.
Yeah, so I have not played any of this game. I've watched more of it than I'd like to admit, and I don't really like the graphics. Don't stand out to me as bad. Like, it reminds me of Breath of the Wild, and I'm not comparing them side by side, but it feels like Breath of the Wild to me.
And people are like, oh, Breath of the Wild looks great. The biggest complaint was people were like, Breath of the Wild chugs. It looks horrible when it came out. That was like, it's the same argument that people make with that, which drives me nuts. And like he said, like, being immersed. Here's the thing they really nailed. The throwing mechanic with just the triggers is great. Because you're like, oh, yeah, it's why Pokemon Go. Like, people like, just the finger swipe. It's so easy. I can catch this. The throwing it like a baseball and doing it from far, and you can just off aim and see if you can nail one. I'll go back as far as I can. I try to go back. I'm like, all right, I'm going to lob this one up and see if I can just do it. And when you hit it, you're like, yes. Like, you throw it up as high as you can. You just, bonk, lands on them. You catch
There's something so satisfying about standing on a cliff above a Pokemon, gauging the distance, aiming like just a bit above its head, and hearing that goes in the ball, and you're like, and when that alpha goes in and you never had to engage with it and you just got that lucky, that's what I'm talking about. With immersive quality. You feel like, wow, I really live in this world. I thought about how all these systems connect in an intuitive way. It gets you in the same way that Breath of the Wild did. It connects to you in this sort of natural way. And that for me is what's so fun. I mean, I don't know, man. For me, I'm just like, I judge a game intuitively. And I'm like, I picked it up and I didn't want to stop playing it. And that is not Pokemon. I hate to say this because I play them all very diligently. It's been a chore for me, man. It's been a chore lately.
Yeah.
This was a delight. And I'm like, more, please. Take your time. I'm like, take a good 5 years on the next one. I'll wait.
Let's Go Pikachu was actually pretty fun too. Like with my son, that was fun because you're moving. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Yeah. And I would like to see more of that. But I'm thinking about Pokemon again more than I used to. I'm not thinking about like, oh, I'm going to do some battles today and see how I'm doing just to battle some people. I'm thinking, I want to be in the Pokemon world. I want to walk through the world. Could they just
like do an expansion on this and add more Pokemon?
Sure, why not? Do it. I don't know if they would. I think they would make another game.
Nintendo
Parker, would that be enough
to
like? Would that be enough, or do you want a whole new game following this one?
New game, new island, new. Go back to the 1920s. Go back to the 1920s of Pokemon, and you're like in the big city. I'd like to see a giant like city landscape in this game. I want to go through like a New York. Yeah, Unova. Over in the 1920s, and there's Pokemon Prohibition, which is Team Plasma. The storyline's there.
There are a million ways to explore this in a prequel mindset, there's a million ways to apply this. I just wanted to piggyback on one last thing, Casey, you said about it being a beta. The way I think of it, I don't think that's an inappropriate way to talk about it at all. But I think of it in the way that like it makes it sound less complete than it is. It's a complete experience. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who played it, you will get what you need out of it.
And I think I put beta in Casey's mouth. It almost feels like a proof of concept.
Like
that's what I mean. I said beta.
I could directly compare it to another game that I think is complete, which is much shorter, but it's the same sort of game. Bowser's Fury is a game that came out last year. That was sort of a same proof of concept, but it is a complete game that you could play. I played it through. Me and my pal Griff, we both played it through multiple times,
hours, right?
And it's just it's only 5 hours. This is 70 hours of that same relentless new style gameplay pace. It does. You're like, this needs more time to cook the story. It needs more time to cook, its fidelity, its graphics. It needs more time. You're just like, there's more to Pokemon. There were gyms. There are the Elite Four. There's, multiplayer training. There's all this stuff. It's like, that's what we mean when we say like all this other stuff that's been a part of Pokemon can I don't want to say easily, but it should integrate.
And in time, I think it will.
Yeah. And
it will. So I think it's not about saying it's unfinished or it's not a product that's worth your money. Dude, it is. I'm the first to say I thought this was going to be like a movie. They were dumping a game in January. That's a kiss of death, dude. That's a kiss of death for movies and games. Christmas money is spent. You don't do it. That's where you send stuff to die. And I'm like, they're going to put a Pokemon game out. They put out Brilliant and the Diamond and Pearl remakes around the holidays, and they're putting this out in January. I guess it's not going to be good, but I got to try it. And I don't know why they did that. It should be the opposite. This would have been an amazing holiday sale, but by all accounts, it is selling like gangbusters anyway.
It is. I think they knew they'd come into the new year like, watch what we do. Hey, hold my beer. Bam! Like we're gonna start this year rocking. They have the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. They're gonna announce some wild stuff there. I think Nintendo's trying to go strong this year. And like I said, I did say beta, but like I'm saying, I think this was just a precursor for what they want to do. They were testing some things out and trying to push
everybody flame Casey. If you're watching this online, flame Casey.
Bring it.
It's Sergeant Pepper's. It's Sergeant Pepper's, man. That's not really the Beatles changed when that came out, and arguably even before that with Revolver. But you got to think about Sergeant Pepper's as being like, well, this is kind of daring and weird, and I don't really want to ever listen to For the Benefit of Mr. Kite ever again in my life. But I'm happy that they changed directions, and then the album's immediately proceeding. You're like, that was the Beatles.
I did also make the album allegory that I think this is album one, right? Just to cover my hind there.
I'm going even more specific. I'm going in there. I'm helping. I'm building Casey. You always tear him down, Shelby.
Yeah.
I got to be the realist. Someone's got to be the realist. Someone's got
to. So I really do love this game, and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I was on the fence with it, and I did something dark. I went to GameStop for the first time in like 3 years. So that's things I don't play. Yeah, a dark secret. I crawled into the local GameStop and said, "Give me your wares." No, I traded in some stuff because I had a bunch of things. Because I'm really hyped for Triangle Strategy, which comes out next month.
Oh yeah, same.
Me and you will talk later, but I'm sure. I'm going to be playing a lot of Pokemon Arceus this week. I've been thinking about it a ton. Great game. It's a 4.5 heart for me, like easily. Could arguably be 5. I think great game. Great game.
Don't want to give up that 5, right? Nothing can be.
It's perfect. So hard. It's so hard.
Yeah. There's valid criticism. Criticism to say it fell short of whatever.
Breath of the Wild's a 5 in my eyes.
I heard the story in it is kind of like very lacking. Like
there's some dialogue.
For a Pokemon game,
that's true.
It's hard. And I'm not saying this to be condescending, but Pokemon has been known as baby's first RPG.
Right. It is for 10-year-olds. We all have to remind ourselves.
And that's when it came out. I was 10. I have played it ever since. We're my kid's going to be 5 soon. It'll at some point, it'll explicitly be even more so for her. But this is like the first time that it's felt like they really, just like they did with Breath of the Wild, the team sat down in a room. I don't know how they got this opportunity because the franchise has not been losing money. Zelda had to go back. They had to. Skyward Sword took a big stinky dump, and they had to go back and say, this is not working and we're in trouble. not that they ever really were, but they take that seriously.
Yeah.
Money talks. Money talk. Your feedback on a forum means nothing to these people. If you don't buy their game, and that wasn't happening with Pokemon, so I would love to know what spurred this. This means that there was a genuine, fervent desire to change. Although I think that's true of Zelda too. They wanted to do Wind Waker is an entire allegory for we are trapped and we want to do something different creatively.
I also think
cry for help.
It's passings of guards. Like new people take over and they have different visions. Speaking of Zelda-like games, so I saw you post something today, and Yacht Club was on G4 today promoting this game, and it started the Kickstarter. Mina the Hollower, you drew some art for them. Was that just like a random exercise? What's the deal with that? Are you part of the backing?
I just was excited. I have nothing to do with that. You know what? I was like, a day later, I looked at the Kickstarter. I'm like, maybe I'll get one of those crazy tiers and help them design an NPC. Taken. This thing is a smash hit. I'm like, it was all those tiers were done. I'm just excited for this game because I
love Shovel Knight.
Yacht Club and I loved Pocket Dungeon too, and I loved Cyber Shadow.
Yeah,
excellent games. They know their stuff. This, it was like, I'm like, you are speaking my love language. You're coming at me with Game Boy Color Zelda games and classic sort of Castlevania. Are you looking for a life partner? Because that's what you're gonna get if you keep.
I thought you were gonna say anthropomorphic character, but I was also taking that as well. I thought you would be big on the mouse.
Yeah, you know what? That's a little less important to me. I love a good character design. They do great work, and so that is appealing too. You know what it is? I do love a nice, strong, monochromatic character design.
Yeah,
white mouse, red jacket, and I'm like, black cat, red cape, dope. They keep it simple.
Yeah,
keep it simple and iconic. And I just everything about this, it speaks to me on a spiritual level. This is church, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
let me put on my Sunday finest, sit in the front row. I'll be singing it loud, boy.
Do you think this is a Metroidvania or is this a Zelda game? What do you?
I have no idea. It looks like there's sort of level breakdowns.
Right.
I'm hoping that if I make enough noise, they will just send me a demo because I really want to play it. They've explicitly said they're going for that sort of classic Game Boy Color Zelda feel with Castlevania.
Yeah.
So it may be that these are separate areas you visit, just how they the same way they reimagined Shovel Knight. That's Zelda 2 and sort of DuckTales gameplay. And there is an interconnected world map, but it's split up into these levels that you explore and re-explore. So it could be that they're doing that same similar kind of restructured approach to this classic gameplay, where they're rethinking it with these modern touches. But everything I'm seeing is great, and I'm like, I don't want to know more. Just release it and take my money and let's do this. I'm like, I don't need to hear anymore. I just need to give you the money.
That's like me with a Marvel.
The money, please.
That's like me with like a Marvel movie or stuff like that, where I see I'll see the first trailer, and I'm like, I don't want to see any more trailers. I'm already probably going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you're speaking directly to me. We're good. You need to convince the normies. I'm ready.
Yeah, this game looks really fun. I'm very excited for it.
And one last thing, obviously, you share a little bit of DNA because Jake Kaufman, the composer, is the composer and his team at Mint Potion for Mau Mau. So
there you go. Lovely. Nice
lovely music as well. But I love Jake and his team over at Mint Potion. They do excellent work. And as soon as I heard it, I think my wife came in from the other room. She goes, Jake. And I'm like, yeah, that's him. I mean, there's no mistaking it. You just know it when you hear it. That high octane, strong focus on melody. And just like, he cannot deny those like classic video game remix roots with the shredding metal guitars, just searing, beautiful, melodic stuff. I love it, man. I'm excited.
This is on my watch list. I'm excited too because we're
two games about digging. What's next?
Two games about digging and jumping and being a mouse. So the other thing we were talking about next month, Shelby and I have been like kicking the idea about doing Metroidvania March, where we have to play a Metroidvania.
Oh, we're doing it.
We are doing it. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that and Triangle Strategy next month. But I got some Metroidvanias in my back pocket that I need to get off my backlog. But that kind of gives me that Castlevania vibe a little bit, but it makes me feel a bit more like Link's Awakening too. Like you said, I'm like, every time I watch it. So I'm hooked. Nintendo's doing good things. And actually, if we move into the news, Nintendo Switch is now past the Wii in all-time sales.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That is nuts because the Wii's whole approach, the blue ocean. You guys remember that term
Yes.
that they use, the blue ocean strategy?
Weehole.
Everybody is a gamer waiting to happen, and that's a
Yes.
beautiful sentiment. It's not true. Beautiful sentiment, but not true because people would buy the Wii for Wii Sports, and then they would never play it again.
Or they played it forever. My dad would play.
That's true. But maybe only a couple games, but that one game. The attach rate to these new games is low, and it was interesting to see. You could see the statistics for the Switch are different.
Yeah,
and I think really it's less to do with. Although I think the blue ocean strategy is commendable, and I do think everybody should be into games, and accessibility is key. The fact is, the so-called gimmick here is just what people want. Let me play on my TV. Let me play on my couch. To the bedroom, and I go, and I'm back in here. And what? All these games that are on Steam, but I don't want to sit at my desk.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a subpart port, but okay.
Can you tell me the 4 systems that are ahead of it without showing it, Shelby? Without showing
I already showed it.
It's too small. So we're playing the guessing game.
Yeah,
playing the guessing game.
Outsold the Switch. Because I thought the Wii was.
No, Shelby, you keep doing it. Calm down.
I was gonna see if we could make the startup noises for the console and see if he could get them from the start.
There's 4 ahead of it. 4.
There's 4 ahead.
Yeah.
Of it.
Mm-hmm.
One's pretty. The top one's pretty obvious.
For PS2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's a DVD.
That's number one. That's top.
It was the DVD player was the huge thing.
That's the key. That made it's same with everything. Every one of these things that sells well, it's like they've got that selling point that just works out. So that's
now
one.
my mother in the chat still has their Wii, but it's been a while. I think everyone should homebrew their Wii. That's the real move if you want to keep your Wii.
At this point, the DS maybe.
Very good. DS is number 2.
That was it. Okay, there's
2.
2 more. There's 2 more.
Shelby, scroll up one way. You got to cover. There you go.
I literally cannot see it. It's so small on my screen. But keep it there. Okay, PS2, DS. All right, just as a hint, this is
your one and only.
Are the next ones a little newer?
No.
Oh, they're classic. I don't know, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's a Nintendo
newer
product.
Than that.
It
the
came
Super
after
Nintendo.
Before that.
The Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Game Boy
Color.
That's
such a comforting thought.
118 million units.
118.
They did combine Game Boy and Game Boy Color though.
That's true.
This is
the same thing. It's just like a couple more bits.
Right.
But they're doing the same thing with the Switch too, right?
Here, baby.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that green Game Boy. Oh, sweet, sweet.
What game's in it though?
What game's in it? Yeah.
Dragon
Tetris?
Warrior Monsters.
Oh, of course.
AKA Dragon Quest Monsters.
Of course.
But you know what? I don't need it to play Link's Awakening anymore because I've got this lovely jobby sitting down there, and it's wonderful because it has all versions, all the international versions of Link's Awakening, which have some different tricks and hints and whatnot. So, okay, so it was the Game Boy, and there's one more.
Yeah,
there's one more,
which I was surprised.
God. I don't know.
I'm very surprised at how much
Xbox. I don't. What is it?
Xbox is not. Is Xbox in the top?
Because I remember Halo being a big craze.
The PlayStation 4.
I know. I'm very surprised by that.
I'm going to say something here, and I don't care how you feel about it. Okay. I hate my PS4. I hate it. I want it out of my house. And I thought.
I'll take it off your hands if you really want to get rid of it.
And I got to tell you too, it's a nice one. It's that silver Dragon Quest edition with a liquid metal slime on top and a liquid metal slime controller. Beautiful, but I hate it. I hate everything about it. And I thought maybe it was just a modern console thing. Maybe they make newer consoles and they're kind of like unintuitive and weird and blah. The battery life on the controller is just poison. And then we were lucky enough to get gifted an Xbox Series X by my father-in-law. Shout outs to Pops. And he's like, "Oh, you guys want this?" And I'm like, yes. Never bought it, but bring it in free. And I just messed around with that. I replayed Witcher 3, played Tales of Arise, played a little Outer Worlds. I didn't. I don't know.
That's a can of worms, man. $15
Wait, which one?
If it bounces around as much as I do, it's no good because I won't get the value I should get out of that. It was too much pressure. Anyway, I played a lot of the game. Battery life was good. Connectivity was good. Speed was good. I'm like, do I like the Xbox Series X? What the hell? And then I looked at my PS4 again, and I'm like, oh, this isn't a next gen thing. This is a you thing. I hate you. I hate the PS4. I can't wait until I no longer need to touch it ever again. It's disgusting. It burns my hands.
So wait.
I don't like
You're gonna get a PS5?
And there's no need to at this point. The fact that there's now a Series X in my house, I'm like, Final Fantasy 16 better stay exclusive. Otherwise, what point do I?
No,
why
they
do I
said
ever
16's coming to Xbox. It's coming
Then I
to
don't
Xbox.
need one. Then I don't
Yeah.
need one. Why do I ever need a
Breaking
PS5?
news.
Have they announced it to launch on the same day though?
It's supposed to be timed
Final Fantasy
exclusive.
16.
Yeah, timed exclusive. Yeah.
Which
I
game?
can wait. I can wait, son. Bring it on. I've been
It's
sitting
like
in my
it's
house
like me with
2
movies
years.
now. It's like me
I
with
can
movies
wait.
now. The Game Pass, like, oh, I can wait. I can wait.
I
a year
waited
to
for
play this.
GTA 5 to come out on PC for like 3 years. I can wait for any game.
Yeah.
I can wait. Yeah.
Speaking of which, this list has one major flaw in it.
Yeah.
What's that?
It doesn't have PC on there, which would clearly be number one.
Oh, get out, you! Get out of here! All right, hey, Spool, take a lap. All right.
I will on my computer.
Yes.
Yeah, so
It'll run
Nintendo
circles around
Switch,
your console.
304 million, PlayStation 102
Woo!
million, Nintendo Wii
Woo!
101,
Woo,
PlayStation
I
3
really like
Three.
it. I heard
87,
that.
Xbox 360, and Game Boy Advanced.
Yep.
Pretty
I thought
crazy
Wii was
list.
number one for some reason, and then I was like, oh wait,
Me
PS2,
too.
yeah, because it was
Yeah,
that.
PS2's been number
Yeah.
one forever.
But hey,
Well,
the DS
everyone
one
had a
makes
Wii
me
U.
happy too. Everyone had a DS.
No, not a Wii U, Shelby. You mean a Wii?
Yeah.
A Wii, yes. No one had a
I had a
Wii U.
Wii.
Yes.
I had a Wii. U.
I was
I
thinking of
had a
every
Wii
retirement
U.
home, not one retirement home had a Wii U.
Every single one of them games has been ported to Switch and done gangbusters
Yes,
since.
they've been
Right?
awesome.
They
They're
charged
so
me
good.
full price to buy them again.
I'll do it. I'll do it again every time. Well, I'm really happy for the Switch's success. So the other meme that's going around in our next story is their PlayStation PSP was called like the Game Boy Advance killer. The Vita was called the DS killer. And then Steam is the Switch killer. And now the reports are coming out. The Steam Deck's battery life drains at times after 2 hours. Now, I don't know if they're going to patch that or if Steam's just going to Steam. And this is in some cases. There could have been some bad batteries.
Oh my god.
But not
I'm
a
glad
good
I didn't-
report on your first day.
Here's the thing. I waited, and I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to know your sentiment. I waited because I was like, oh my god, PC games basically played on a high-powered Switch. That's a
The Neo Geo
wonderful.
Pocket.
Oh my god.
Someone
No.
said that in the chat. Hot Fudge Pennant. The Neo Geo Pocket is the Game Boy killer. True.
Wonderful premise for this product, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait.
How
And
long-
yesterday they showed a size comparison. That thing, first of all, as a portable, you can't have a cement block. You won't be able to play that. So your battery life is secondary. You're not gonna hold it for 2 hours, son.
No.
I got news for you. It's not happening.
Gotta do more
Second,
curls.
the button placement. What the hell are they thinking?
I haven't seen
The
it.
thumbstick is on the right thumbstick is on the inside. If you could pull up a picture of it, it's I didn't even like when they first announced it.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Pull it
I
up. You
don't
gotta
like
show
that.
everybody. I was like, oh, that
No.
that looks cool. And then I looked at the button placement and I go, ah! How am I
Oh, that's
supposed to
weird.
play that?
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine trying to do high-speed button mashes on that thing?
Those pads are like joysticks too. I
The
believe
D-pads, right?
they're like
I think they're touch pads. Like
yeah,
a
they're like
mouse.
touch pads.
Oh,
sort of
like
thing.
Oh,
on.
man.
Interesting.
They're like, that's going back to like the Steam controller. What was the Steam controller they pushed pretty hard back in the day?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like
The
they got
the one with the
ergonomics
giant-
down.
like silver circles that you.
No, it
can
had
just
like
move.
touch pads. They were like, this
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
be the RTS controller to end them all.
It wasn't.
And it wasn't. People were like, I need a keyboard, please.
Yeah, Ron Howard coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I pre-ordered one of these, but I know, being an earlier first adopter of any new
Yes.
product
Yeah.
line is always a huge risk.
Y'all know that Brittle Floss song? Don't ever buy a console at launch.
Yeah.
I really mean it. Look
I-
that up, kids.
My 360 I bought like maybe like 2 weeks before they brought out like the 360 Slims or whatever
Oh,
the newer
that-
generation was.
Happened to me
That
with the
killed me.
PS3.
Worse.
Happened to me with the PS3. The exact same
So-
thing.
Sean, when do you get your Steam Deck?
Unknown. I think they delayed it
don't
to
like that.
something. It's all based on the order you pre-ordered it in, but I don't.
Hmm.
I know they delayed because I think they were supposed to deliver them in February originally, I have no idea. I have no like expectations or holdings of breath. It's just something. I have like 900 games in my Steam library, and I would like to
Yeah.
play them on. I would like to play them because a lot of them are indies. I would
Yeah.
love to
Yeah.
play them on like a
My
handheld
dog
thing
just
and-
growled at that comment. I don't know if you
Oh,
heard that.
But that's a wonderful proposition too, because a lot of ports are somewhat sloppy, and you're like, I'm gonna get it straight from the horse's mouth. I'm gonna
Yes,
get the
exactly.
high quality,
What's the
fully
first game?
compatible version.
What's the first game you're gonna play on your Steam Deck? And I bet you I can guess what it is. Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
RimWorld.
No, I don't. No, I'm probably gonna be something like Hades or something
Oh,
like that
fun.
first,
Yeah.
because that's
You
like
could do a run.
just to test kind of like the capabilities of it, because that's a pretty modern indie game. You know, it's been released in the last year or so, and it can kind of push it potentially versus like loading up something old. Like you could do like Loop Hero or something like that, but you're not going to be pushing the hardware
Right.
on there.
I think that's
yeah.
the thing too, right? You have to be aware of doing that. And the other thing is, if Game Pass is that going to come to the Steam Deck? Like that's.
I mean, it's not announced yet, but honestly, if you have a Steam account, you probably own like 1,000 games.
I
Like
see
Spool does.
in your links right there. There's how Steam Deck can play Xbox game titles, which because I just
This feels like
bumped
clickbait.
yeah, well, it's probably if it's anything else like Steam and Valve do, it's probably a Linux-based system that you can. I've already seen like articles where basically you can just like install Windows on it and make it like a little handheld computer, and you could customize, like basically, customize it as much as you want that way. I don't plan on doing that, but I'm sure it's really easy to do.
I imagine
this
system's got to be a little touchy. I don't know if you guys read that. There was a video. There were some articles written about the teardown of this thing. Did you see that?
No.
There's a warning that comes with. So it's really impressive. You get to see everything that's inside it, but there's a warning up front, and it says, "Do not do this." They're like, do it. You legally within your rights.
Yeah, it's your hardware. You own it.
But it will explode. They're like, this thing will set a fire to your house and burn down your whole family. Don't do
Some
it.
people are like, challenge accepted when they
Challenge
read
accepted.
that.
But I'm like that when I hear that too, I'm like, okay, this is not I think PC gamers would rightfully be like, good, this is my fantastic machine. I want to push it to its limits. I want to hold my shit together with duct tape, fly through the galaxy, Han Solo style, whereas most of us are like, I'll take my wonderfully designed, sleek, intuitive piece of hardware that will not explode on me. Thank you very much. So I think it's, for some people, it'll be a turn up, but for other people, hearing that it might explode and not to tear it down.
Yeah.
Gotta live
like,
life on the edge.
Let me see what it's going to do. But that, for me personally, I'm saying that was the last straw where I thought, like, I'm really interested in this. And they're like, yeah, this is a very complex piece of machinery. And I got those. I'm not saying this to be facetious or dismissive, but I got Game Gear vibes because I remember
for sure.
And like,
so Coffee Bean 09 asks, "What's your guys' personal indie game?" I'm thinking it means favorite. What are you gonna play on this? You get this. Sean's going for Hades. What about you, Casey? What do you?
Well, I don't know if that's his favorite because he hasn't played it,
my favorite indie game is RimWorld, but Hades is probably like my go-to kind of just like I want to do a run or I want to play it for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something.
Indie game? Oh man. I really do
Pokemon,
like
small indie.
Yes, it's small indie developer. If you've heard this new thing, Pokemon Legends. Give me a second. What about you, Shelby? I need to think a little bit.
Celeste. Like I'm playing Celeste on this.
That's
my go-to. I love Celeste, and it'd be like, okay, how's this play? Here's my issue with this like 2-hour battery life rumor. Is like I'm gonna play this on the plane. Like my Switch is a plane machine. I use that when I'm on the road. That's why I would be buying one of these is to play it on the road. And 2 hours, I mean, let's face it, if you're on a flight that's more than 4 hours, you have an AC adapter, an outlet, like right there by the seat. So maybe
buy a battery charger.
2 hours though.
Have
that's
a couple
little
battery
rough.
packs ready to go.
I don't see it any more
that's gotta
capable
be
than a laptop.
Time.
Wait,
like,
was
It
that
can't be 2 hours for every game. It's got to be 2 hours if you're
It can't
playing.
be, especially if it's running like Doom and Control. Like those things are going to burn through a battery way quick. Whereas Celeste, you would think would take less time.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like people that were expecting it to have like an 8-hour battery or whatever. Like, have you ever used or seen someone use a gaming laptop?
Yeah,
if you play a game on
especially-
that laptop, and that's all this is, like a glorified miniaturized laptop. It's like
Pull out
Especially
your
during a
phone and
hard
play a game on
shortage,
your
like,
phone.
it's
See
not
how
gonna
long you last, right?
Yeah.
I can play Final Fantasy V on there for a couple hours, sir.
How long can you play Genshin Impact?
Probably 30 minutes. Now, that's different. Okay, I have two. I'm gonna say Stardew Valley. I love it. Great indie game. Like I think that's a true indie game.
Good call.
And then the other one that I really like, and I was going back and forth on this because Celeste is a great choice. I do like Hollow Knight a lot. I would be the other one that I'd probably want to go play again.
nice.
It's hard. It's not a nice game.
It's on site. If I meet you, Team Cherry, it's on site.
But actually, here's the best answer because
You're gonna
this
get
was the
hurt
one.
for what you did to me.
Cuphead. Cuphead's the best indie game.
I got an answer for this, but only if y'all are ready to segue to something.
Okay, strap in, book fellas.
Wait, hold on. Ready
I
for
want
the
to just
segue?
talk. I want to talk about this game that I recently sort of discovered in a roundabout way that I think a lot of people. It has like a pretty strong fan base. So when I got gifted that Xbox Series X, I'm like, all right, I want to play Witcher 3, and went through it again. Had a wonderful time. That's the third time I played it. I played it on PS4. Played it on the Switch, which is a remarkably good port for a portable. Now, presumably, you can
I've
play it on
still
Steam
never
Deck.
beaten Witcher 3.
So
We should do it
Every
together.
time I go to play it, I'll play like 60 hours and then get distracted by something else. I'm like, not this time, not again.
Not this time.
And I always start over.
To be fair, I knocked it out with my wife. We would
Smart,
she'd go, I'm going to get all this stuff. I'm going to complete the Gwent deck. I'm like,
That's
cool.
a good move.
I'm going to go do craft all the armor, and then we take turns on the story and have a good
Cool.
time. And the Switch made that even easier. So we're just, we'd be powering down for the night. And I'm like, all right. Next time she picks it up while I'm working during the day or something, she's like, yeah, I got this done. So I have an unfair advantage, but I played through that and I'm like, you know what? I need more. I need more narrative choice. I need a little more Western RPG, not a lot more Western RPG, just a little bit more. I'm looking through the sales, the year-end sales, and a lot of Fallout games, and I'm like, bleh. I tried Fallout 4, bleh, bad taste in my mouth. Don't like it. Too many menus. Small text. I don't like
New
the way
Vegas
everybody's
is better.
talking to me. That's hang tight. Hang tight. I'm going to get all the way to this indie game. I'm taking a weird roundabout way. You know where I'm going? I'm going to the Outer Worlds. That's the game.
That was on sale on Switch. I almost bought that.
I wouldn't do that. My pal Griff was like, I love Fallout New Vegas. I bought Outer Worlds on Switch. It runs like a potato.
I didn't. So good. Good.
And here's the thing: The Witcher, which is crazy because there, you need to know your optimization business. And I'm going to talk about this with this game I'm talking about too. This all relates. So I played Outer Worlds, and I enjoyed the greater narrative freedom that I was getting a little taste of in Witcher 3, where you get a sort of choice in how the story progresses. And I'm enjoying it even more. I'm enjoying the fact that, like, if I want to play this like a scoundrel, I could do that. If I want to play this like a dumb brute, I could do that. And it's somewhat limited, but it's a little bit, a lot more than a JRPG, a little bit more than like a Witcher. And then once it was done, I was like, man, Jones, and I need a little bit more of this weird narrative. I need a little bit more of these. I need a little bit more of these games where I can talk my way out of a problem or build my character the way that do they make more of these? I'm like, I need more. And so, I was looking into this stuff, and a lot of options, none of them really great. Fallout New Vegas came up. I think you could buy like a 360 version, and I'm like, I don't know if I really want to play a 10-year-old game because maybe it was great, but I don't know. Maybe they're remaking it. I've heard rumors of that. Anyway, all of which is to say, it was on sale, and I finally bit the bullet and got Disco Elysium.
Oh,
have y'all played Disco Elysium?
That was a winding road to get to Disco Elysium.
But it all makes sense. It was all, I'm dipping my toes into Western RPG. I'm dipping my toes into narrative choice because I come from the JRPG school where it's all about building how you attack and not how you approach story and narrative. I dip my toes and then I'm sinking into the pool. Oh, this shallow end feels nice. Maybe I'll swim out into the deep end of Disco Elysium because holy shit, this game, the narrative device is hysterical. The fact that the way that they justify explaining this entire fantasy analogous world to you and all its myriad races and political systems, the way they justify that is you are a fucked up cop at the end of his Rope who got blackout drunk and high. You really went on the mother of all benders, and when you wake up, you forget basic concepts. You don't even understand eating. You don't understand
Nice.
money. Like everything has to be explained from scratch, and you have to embarrassingly tell people this. But anyway, that's a wonderful plot device. As I'm playing this game, I'm just like, this is really kind of weird and funky. Like I've kind of heard about it, all right. And then as it keeps going, I'm like, I think, is anything possible in this game? And it's just, this game is as if like somebody sat down with their eyes taped open and was forced to read all of Western literature and for hundreds and hundreds of hours and just ingest political ideology, philosophy, poetry, modern art, postmodern art, all these concepts. This is like some liberal arts major lost their mind and they wrote everything they had ever known or felt about the world and internalized and just blah, it's all here and it comes at you a mile a minute. But the thing is, I'm a big fan of, I come from JRPGs, that's my bread and butter. I come from visual novels too, and I've been falling out of love with these kind of Ace Attorney style games lately. They don't hold my attention anymore. They're can't. I don't know what it is. I enjoy the animation. I enjoy the wacky story, but I'm like, you know what? I'm getting boxed in because I just want a little bit more. And the writing quality isn't at a point where I feel engaged anymore. I'm like, it's just a little too simple for me. And the writing quality in this game is so off the rails and bonkers and funky and disco. That's the word. It's disco, dude. I fully recommend this. Here's the thing. As I was playing on the Switch, I was warned too, and I'm like, no, it's got to be portable. A game like this, where it's constant exploring and talking, it's got to be portable. This is late night, cozy time, going to bed. This is what it's got to be. I got on the Switch, god awful optimization, load times. To be fair, I heard this was kind of across the board. The game would constantly crash, load times. Luckily, Pokemon Legends came out. I finished it, and I'm like, oh, I want to go back to Disco Elysium, but I know they're never going to patch it. It's going to take a month. That day that I said that, they patched the game. I randomly happened to look at my phone. I was on Reddit or something. It goes Disco Elysium patched. Load times, crashes, all fixed. And I can't confirm because I've been playing it the last 2 games, all fixed by the Switch.
Nice.
You're good to go. This game, worth your time. Worth your time.
Okay. And how in your stance on this game?
My stance?
Yes.
I did not like
about
this game. I not at all. But I also played it on PS4. I think that this is a handheld game. Like if I could sit in bed and read about philosophy and how am I going to approach the situation, it'd be a different game altogether.
It's not like
for
a
me
put
to
it on my
dedicate
big TV.
living room time with kids and a wife.
No.
Like not happening. Like I tried, I gave it a fair shake. I gave it 3
content
hours.
warning, murder, drugs, the way the world works.
Yes. I got one more indie game that I love too that I had to show Sean. Katana Zero. Katana Zero.
That one was great.
It's Celeste meets dystopian samurais. That's what it is to me.
And where's that
so
sequel?
Good.
Sequel coming?
It's not a sequel. It's a DLC, and they're basically calling it Katana Zero 1.5. Like, hey, it's so big. Maybe tomorrow will be announced at the Nintendo Direct, which is our news tomorrow. There is a Nintendo Direct coming. This will be live at the time of it. Does anybody want to make any predictions on what they think will be on the Nintendo Direct?
A teaser for the new Mario movie.
Ooh, that was gonna be mine, you salty dog.
That's easy. They're definitely doing that. Like they're gonna have Chris Pratt come out and try to win the fans.
Is Mario?
I'm here for it.
I'm
Charlie
not.
Day is Luigi. Sign me up. I like that. That's enough to put it over for me.
You can't be scared of the Mario movie. You just have to embrace the Mario movie. Like let it wrap around you like a warm blanket and embrace you.
I will be there.
I'm staying open-minded.
Thank you. Right. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
People really dragged the Sonic movie, and that was pretty good. Of course,
yeah, but they had to like redo the Sonic movie.
But attest to that. Sonic with teeth looks bad. I think that was the big issue. And
bullying is the right call.
Yeah. See, I work in a school, and I'm going to tell you, some kids need. No, I'm kidding. No. Bullying. Yeah,
some movies.
Some movies need. I think people need to listen to the people, right? Like if you're the artist, like kudos to them for doing that. I don't know. This is the Illumination team, right? That is doing it's
Yeah.
the Minions and
And
Despicable Me
Illumination
studio.
has a track record. Like if you look up
Yeah.
that studio, it's banger after banger
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
Illumination.
That was, I think, what hit me about every decision they made, and I think what people couldn't put voice to because they're very, reactionary. And I tried to be very diplomatic when I was talking to people about it, and I still am. And I think people should stay open-minded. But movie making is a business. And when they came out and they said all this, I'm like, business decision, business decision, business decision, business decision.
Yeah.
And it just
Money
over the head with money, money, money. And the reason I think a lot of people felt this psychic damage from this is because they've never felt, even though they definitely are because they're business, all businesses are, Nintendo's never felt motivated by money. They felt motivated by elevating stuff. Mario never misses. His games are all masterpieces with, maybe a weird outlier here there, but for the most part.
You're right. I'm going to say that. I will say that. They were all.
I'm just saying they're in it. When you play that, you're like, they're in this for the joy of creation. Same with Zelda or most of their franchises. So it was sacrilegious to hear them come out and say, no, we're not. We care about money. And it was like, we knew that deep down, but we didn't want you to say
But
it.
here's the thing.
That's the feeling most people were having, but weren't able to voice. So they went, Chris Pratt, when really what they meant was, I thought you cared. And they're like, man, not really.
Nah, we could get whoever. Get the real Mario voice.
It was over when we made Animal Crossing for the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true. Go ahead, Sean.
I was just saying, I forgot that Jack Black is doing Bowser's voice.
Seth Rogen is Donkey
Seth
Kong.
Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Wild choice.
Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong.
And
this could be really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited about this. Like,
They
I'm gonna
always-
watch it.
Here's
It's
what's
gonna make
looming over their
money.
head.
That was it.
Here's what's looming over their head. The original Mario Brothers movie
Which
a
was
easy
fantastic.
Easy bar to clear.
yeah, they're like, we have to get
I
this
loved it.
optimized.
I loved it as a kid. It made no sense, but I loved it.
Nah.
I remember seeing it. I'm like, why are they taking a mattress down a frozen tube? This makes
Yeah.
no sense
I
whatsoever.
just remember watching it and going, no.
Yeah.
I just remember being
And I
confused.
never said
doesn't
anything
look like
else. I was like, okay, that's not
yeah.
Mario. It's one of
I
these.
just remember
Got it.
being confused why Bowser turned into a T-Rex, and I was like,
Mhm.
"The heck?
Mhm.
that
I was
makes
like,
no
no.
sense."
All right, Dennis Hopper. It's just a weird
Yeah.
thing. Have you ever seen the horror stories about that set? Like the things they've done
Oh,
now?
I love
Like,
it. John
Yeah,
Leguizamo,
John Leguizamo.
and drunk driving the van
yeah.
during a live tape.
Rip Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, they were
Hoskins.
drinking. He said him and Bob were just drinking because it was a miserable experience. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like the directors were people who came from music videos. They didn't know
And he
anything
broke his
about
arm.
filming.
He broke his arm. Hot Fudge Panda pointed out he broke his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody brought this up, and I want to say Charlie Day is a great, I have nothing to say about the cast. It's wonderful, wonderful stuff. But John Leguizamo, somebody's like, they should have given John another chance at Luigi, another
agree.
shot. And I'm
He's
like,
old now.
you're right. But he's got the voice. He's
He
still
does.
good, dude. He's still funny. And I'm like, you're
He's
right.
good.
He should have gotten another bite at the apple, or at least a bite at Waluigi.
Isn't he in
Yes.
Encanto? Isn't he one of the characters in Encanto?
Probably,
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty
was
sure
in
he
Ice
plays
Age
Bruno.
That Blue Sky did.
Yeah,
He's a
I think
sloth
he's
in Ice
Bruno
Age.
in
We don't
Encanto.
talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. Number one song on Spotify.
Yeah, he is in the movie.
Going for that.
John
John
Leguizamo also made the Spawn movie. If he wasn't
Oh,
in it
God.
as
His
the
best
He's
clown-
film-
He's on, man. S to the P to the A to the on. He was great.
No, if we're going down a John Leguizamo rabbit hole, The Pest is a hilarious film.
Yep.
Tu
and-
Wong Fu. Amazing.
Yeah, Tu Wong
movie.
Fu, he's killing that too.
Heartrending performance.
And he's
wonderful
the- Bad guy in Precinct 13, I think. Or no,
Is he?
he's a bad guy in a couple things.
What?
He's a great actor. That's the movie with it's from the Training Day director, but it's Ethan Hawke and it's like an action film.
no reference to Ice Age.
Look at
Oh
this.
yeah, he is.
He's just-
Listen, The Pest is his best film. You can at me, flame me. I don't care.
think he would agree. I think he'd be like, no, maybe don't start with The Pest. Like, if you're gonna work on my filmology,
He's like, I'm
don't
not
start.
trying to be proud of that anymore.
Yeah, look at this. He's Bruno right here for
But I'm
sure.
ready for the John Leguizamo renaissance. I'm
Yes.
ready for it. You know
This
what?
man
He's
can do
an
anything.
incredibly talented dude. He should have got
Yeah.
another shot at Luigi.
He's good in Chef too with John Favreau when he's the assistant chef to him. He's good in that too.
Nintendo Direct predictions.
Yes, back to that. That's my John Leguizamo gets a video game is my prediction in the Renaissance. No, I think we are definitely going to get some Triangle Strategy news, and I think maybe we'll get a Breath of the Wild 2 taste. Maybe
You
just a little
think?
You're
bite.
dreaming.
Too early in the year. Too
No,
early
they'll
in the
show it at
year.
E3. They'll show it at E3. You're going to see Kirby. They're going to show off.
Oh
Kirby.
yeah.
They said. Here's the thing. Whenever they're like, we're showing off titles for early 2022, I take them at their word, and that's how I don't get hurt. So I'm like, all right, here's what I know is coming: Advance Wars, Kirby.
Oh yeah.
Triangle Strategy.
The Advance
That's
Wars.
what they're
Sean,
gonna
you're an
show?
Advance Wars guy.
I played it in high school.
When you were at wrestling matches.
I don't know if that
Wasn't it
counts.
in between
Yeah,
when you
yes,
had
when
to
I was
wait
at
for your-
wrestling meets.
My
Wrestling
prediction is at
tournaments.
one point there's like, hey, did you hear about Pokemon? It's kind of a big deal. Or something along those lines.
They
Or
split
like
those for separate. They
DLC
have
or
Pokemon
something.
Directs. They have separate Pokemon Directs
Ooh.
now.
There is
I think
yeah.
they'll-
Pokemon always has their own
True.
thing. Splatoon 3 could be talked about because they've already hinted that too. Meow Meow's mother posted that in there, and I agree. Kirby's a good shot to call. I think Triangle Strategy is going to get one too because it comes out in March. But they always do something that's non-regular. It's not going to be Smash anymore because Smash is done. So who's taking the movie's a good one.
Here's hopes. 2 hopes for you. RPG style. They announced that they're localizing Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent.
The phone game?
I'd like to see a Switch port announced.
Yeah.
No reason there shouldn't be. Make it a budget title, $20, boom, bring it out. Next one, I want to hear a little bit more. This may be a separate thing. Give me more of that Dragon Quest 3 remake.
Oh, the 2.5?
There's no reason that shouldn't just be done.
Yeah.
That game has a set path. We know what it is. You've got the engine. You've shown enough of it that I know that all the tiles are there. You just need to spit it out and give it to me now. I want it now. So those are my two. Those are my two, like, not totally unrealistic. Maybe we'll see them tomorrow.
Mine is Pokemon Arceus mobile port. Because the graphics are already ready for it.
Okay. Well, that is Shelby and your prediction.
Pokemon, something Pokemon for sure.
Well, seeing how we're talking about Pokemon, I think that leads us to our final segment. This is one that I love. We call it 1-star reviews, and we're gonna read some reviews that were 1 star or sometimes 0 star and rate them. Now, when I think of rating these.
We're rating the reviews.
Yeah, we're rating the 1-star reviews.
We're rating the reviews.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm into it.
So what makes a good 1-star review to me is either it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's really piffy. Like there's some little wit to it. It's a full baby meltdown. And rarely, if they do make some valid points, rarely it's that. But I'm looking for the most absurd.
You want baby meltdown is a good criteria.
Yeah, baby meltdown.
You want to reward that toxic behavior and say, well done. You committed to being.
You're a 10-star baby. Yeah, I want.
I like it.
Okay, I'm shaming them.
Should we share that criteria, or do we need our own rubrics?
That's personally mine. I think you can go off my rubric. You know, like you can have a 1, 2, 4 scale.
I like when it's user error. Like the problem is on their part and they're having problems with the game or whatever.
Yes, that is also a criteria. Okay. This is from Pepe69. So points already for the name. Bad graphics, bad gameplay. The game is unfinished and needs so much polishing. We are talking about Game Freak and Pokemon. The state at which this game has been released is just unacceptable.
Oh my god. Bad graphics, bad gameplay. This sounds like somebody who hasn't played it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I don't know where they get off on the gameplay there. Not to be my own little baby here, like, nah, they're wrong, but I'm like, this just seems like somebody piling on, like a 12-year-old who's, you know what I mean? Like, you guys remember being 12 in a computer lab and you've got you've got your full 20-ounce Coca-Cola, drinking your brown poison, and you're just like, you don't even. The person who wrote this didn't even think twice. There was no thought. They were just like, bad game. You know what I mean? But they're dead-eyed, slurping the sludge, like, that mouth open.
Okay.
I'm on my mom's Metacritic profile, so I can say anything.
They don't give any examples, which is like a good indicator that they didn't actually play the game.
I'm giving this a 1 star. I think it is
GameCube, more like lame cube. If the graphics is bad and graphics need to be better, and goodbye. Enter. Moving on to I want to
Yeah.
talk about Jimmy Neutron and his forum.
Yeah, I want
moving
some
on.
funny. I want some funny. That's a one star review. You can do
Yeah.
better if you're going to troll.
Yeah,
The
this was no effort.
Yeah, this one is from user XOPZOXPS, and it's really solid. I like this. It doesn't have Squirtle. How can a Pokemon game be launched without simply having the best Pokemon in the game? This is disrespectful. They gave the game a 0. So, one, I love that it's purely, it's a solid troll. It's great because he's professing his love for Squirtle, which is a great starter. Not the best of the starters, but
it's a pure love.
Well,
it's a
shots
pure
fired.
love.
This review came from a place of love, not hate.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Not hate.
can we read? Can one of us read one of these? I want to
Yeah,
dramatically
I'm just
read it.
pulling up them from Metacritic, but I have some.
Hold up, I want to get into
Here,
it.
I
Yeah.
have you one. You ready?
Let's see it.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is the full thing.
Yeah.
1 star. But does this person have a name? Do I get to see their name? Did they post it?
It says it. Oh shoot.
Faye Axels.
Oh yeah, Faye Axels.
I hope that isn't some wildly offensive acronym that I don't know about yet.
Yes.
That's what happens when you enter your 30s, kids. People start saying stuff and you repeat it and you're like, did you
Parker
know? I'm like,
Simmons hate
damn
crime?
it.
Question mark.
Like, I
question
didn't
mark,
know.
question
I'm not on the internet all day. Legends Arceus is just incredibly ugly. In addition, so much is not ideally thought through and is boring and repetitive. I just don't know how an established company like Game Freak has so little attention to detail. I just miss it in too many places. No, without me.
What is no
Now
without
this,
me?
I feel like I need a little. I should have re-gone. This sounds a little dandy. It's like, I just don't know how an established company like Game Freak has so little attention to detail. I miss it in too many places. No, without me. It's very dismissive. Very, I gotta say personally, I like this. I give this a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's very
that's
lordly.
That's
It's
solid.
very piss baby still, but
Yes.
super.
Mhm.
But I like the lordly quality. Like, no, this person put in
Without
they
me.
were-
So
they
the
were saying-
ellipses
No.
and without me. No.
not miss
carry
me,
on.
not miss me with this. No, without me. No,
Yeah, so-called
The so-called
established in quotations too. Is
Game company, Game Freak. This established company. Please don't make me laugh. All right.
Shelby, read the next one for us.
A 0 out of 10. It's so ugly. This game sometimes look like PS1 game. It's 2022. This game looks like 1999 game. Don't buy.
So they
Is this
clearly
a
didn't buy
competitor?
it.
They have a vested interest in you not buying this game, and the
Yes.
English is so broken. And also, I want to say repeated use of ellipses is
Not
a dead
cool.
giveaway.
That's my least
Not
favorite
cool.
thing.
But it's a
That
dead
sin.
giveaway for a boomer. Boomers do this, man.
True.
This is boomer behavior. And so I think this is some 60-year-old person working at a bot farm for some competing company who's like, you need to review bomb them. But so now I'm looking at this at the lens of this is, Martha getting back into the workforce. She's working hard for this competitive company. And she tried her best to say, this game looks like doesn't even know that it would be either PS1 or PSX or just PlayStation.
Yeah, PSX one.
She's trying really look like 2022. This looked like 19. She knew what year it was. Great job, Martha. Don't buy. No apostrophe. It's so ugly. You know what I mean? It's just somebody who's really rushed. I feel like they're maybe doing 10 reviews at a time. So I don't know. For me, it's a 5 out of 10. I'm giving them a little bit of respect because they're working a job.
They also reviewed
clearly-
Pokemon Unite though.
Oh,
Back in August.
Yeah, look,
Back
they
in
gave that a
August
0.
2021.
The average user scores a 3.7 on Pokemon Unite. Rude. The other one I like. Where did I find it?
Is it this one right here?
The
I
one
will,
just
I
looked
will
you the
say
secret.
a review of the review system. I appreciate on Steam nowadays they put like hours played above the person's
Oh, yeah.
review.
Very
So
good.
so you can tell like someone that played for an hour and they're like, this game's terrible, blah 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 blah, versus someone who's played like 100 hours and they're like, yeah, I can't recommend this game even though you see that I have 100 hours. And here's
Well, that's
why.
the person you want to hear from,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
No. See, a 1-star review are people that aren't logical. They're people that just scream at you, The
Yeah.
people that have opinions from what the talkie box on the wall tells them to.
Yeah.
And the piss baby thing's a big criteria to me. There's this other one from a user called Scarlet or Secret, and they just gave it a 0-star. This one is. This is the best Pokemon game I've ever played. My first Pokemon game was Red and Blue, and to see the evolution is amazing. And he still gave it a 0.
That's
so
funny too.
yeah,
I'm
like great game.
Like,
They missed a 1.
confusing.
It's supposed to be a 10.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
They got confused. Maybe they're working at
Yeah.
that same company.
There's a couple people there that are like that. That you're like, oh, weird. I don't know. If
I
it's
have
like
to give it a
reverse
0,
troll.
but I liked it.
I liked it.
Right. That's the Martha. That's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
damn it, Martha! But it was good.
It was good.
This is the last time. All right, we're giving you a warning. You fucked up on Pokemon Unite, but this is the last time. It's over.
It's over. Speaking of over, I think we're over and done for the evening.
Yes, that is for sure. It's been a good night, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always a
Parker,
pleasure.
where can people find more from you?
Yo, check me out on Twitter, Parker Simmons. Hey, I got something. I got a couple things to plug. Coming up soon, March 4th. You guys watch Diabolical. It's the Boys anthology animated spinoff coming to Amazon Prime.
Love the boys. Okay.
You got 8 animated episodes written by, directed by stars of animation and live action. A lot of crazy surprises, a lot of interesting stuff. Check it out. Diabolical, Amazon Prime,
Nice.
March 4th. You like the boys, you like
Love the
cartoons, you like a little anime, you like a little Rick and Morty, you like a little Animaniacs, you're going to love this. It's
Perfect.
weird, it's wild, it's self-indulgent in the best way. Check it out. Yeah, watch that. There, I actually had something to plug. Like it was a like it's fucking Conan.
Yeah. that I know. It's like, hey, why not?
Roll the clip. Yeah, check it out, folks. March 4th.
Roll it. Sean, anything you want to say?
I have nothing to plug, and I don't really talk on Twitter anymore,
I know.
Oh my god!
and I don't
how is
stream
this-
on Twitch.
I know. You're never there. You're just our friend. You do this with us, so we appreciate it.
You have canceled the internet. The internet will not cancel you.
If you do want to follow me, my Twitter's at Sean Poole, SeanPoole. The E on the end of Poole.
Shelby, where can people find us?
Well, if you want more from us, follow us on our social channels. Those are in the attached description. We're also chatting on Discord. Thank you for being with us. All those people in the chat. Hot Fudge Panda, what's up? Meow Meow's mother, always nice to see you. Coffee Bean 09, we appreciate you being with us tonight. If you're listening to this on the podcatcher, leave us a review. 5 stars if you would be so kind. That is a wrap for this week. We are out.
Play your games.
Peace.